gentlemen. Sean Zawadzki.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First way to get started, there was not a lot of action at all in that game too, and for the back line defensively. So how did that kind of shift your game, and what were you able to do kind of moving forward in that game too, because there was such limited action?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still staying focused on everything. Even up a man, they have the opportunity to break on a counterattack, so it's always kind of organizing things when we can. It's a moment of that to really be switched on in those moments. Going to game 3, you know what they're capable of, and so using that second half to kind of really focus on that and hone in on that, so that we're ready for game 3.
You've been involved with most of the set piece goals during the regular season, especially on those corner kicks. You guys had a lot of opportunities. Game 2, just kind of what are you looking for during those corner kicks to maybe capitalize, get a goal there?
Yeah, I think, you saw a little bit in game 2. It just kind of creates some chaos. We're not the biggest team, and I think everyone knows that. But how can we create chaos and make things difficult for the opponent? Whether that's crowding the keeper, whether it's making runs in the first post, setting blocks, whatever it may be, just trying to create that chaos for us.
What are you expecting from Cincinnati game 3, just between the last 2 games?
I think more so game 1, back at home for them and feeding off their crowd's energy, and a team that's really dangerous, and just kind of be ready for that.
And do you feel like the momentum has shifted to your guys' side just after game 2?
I would say so. I think each team kind of had their spell of it at home. It's both teams have won at home, and how can we go on the road in game 3 and kind of break that trend and use that to our advantage.
Thank you.
It was your 5th MLS playoff start. Of all the environments, it had to have felt surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Were you overwhelmed at all emotionally by the experience of being in that crowd?
I wouldn't say overwhelmed, but I was telling some people that I think the fans were the best that they've been all year, and that's saying a lot with how great they have been. That probably potentially being our last home game of the year, and especially with Darlington retiring and him being able to experience that one more time. The fans were incredible. The game obviously went really well for us, and we appreciate that, and hopefully we can get a good amount down to Cincy.
I'm sure from your vantage point you noted early on that the wing play in game 2 versus the wing play in game 1 had switched. What does that mean for you centrally?
I think everyone sees that we like to keep our wingbacks high when we attack, and how can we stay organized with the back 3 and Darlington and Dillon in there and kind of protect us. Sometimes we're a little open in instances because of that, but I think it's the way we play, and it helps us be successful. So it's just organizing that and making sure we're in good spots when we do get forward and we start getting to their attack. How can we organize between us 5 and make sure that we're set for them when they do break on the counter.
In 2023, Columbus had to go on the road for a couple of playoff games after the first round, and there was a sense of business to be done mentality. Are you feeling that coming back to the club this week? I
would say so. I think, especially with how game 2 went, now it's 1-1. Winner take all kind of game, and it's not something we haven't done before, going on the road and winning, especially in the playoffs and at Cincy in general too. So everyone's kind of really looking forward to the game and knowing that's going to be a tough one. And how can we stick to what we've wanted to do all year and stick to our mindset of working as hard as we can.
Where's the mental edge for Columbus in this game?
I would just say it's in the cohesiveness of our group. I think from first guy on team sheet to last guy on team sheet, I think everyone is honed in on the task at hand and using that and building and using the relationships we have with each other, the closest of the group, to really use that to our advantage.
Without looking specifically at that Eastern Conference final in 2023, overall, how much of an advantage is it that the crew bring a dozen players from that squad forward 2 years later, and you know what it's like to be in that one-and-done games
Yeah.
situation on the road.
Yeah, like you said, in 2023, we had to go on the road multiple times, the semifinal and the final, the Eastern Conference. And like you said, it's a large group of guys that kind of returned from that team. So we've experienced going on the road and doing what needs to be done to get the job done. It's never going to be easy in this league, especially in the playoffs, going on the road and winning. And albeit now it's a rivalry again. And how can we continue to replicate that in a way? And I think we have the group that's extremely capable of doing that again.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sean.